Okay, so that's 6 years from now, and I understand the supply-demand dynamics, but Cathie, I'm sure you're also very aware of some of the main criticisms that there really is no, I guess, fundamentals, if you will. So beyond the speculative nature of I buy this and someone will buy it for more than me down the road, is there anything else there that gooses this beyond just that supply-demand equation?
Cathie Wood just got confronted on live TV because Bitcoin's price took a massive dip below $100,000. Now Cathie Wood's outlandish Bitcoin price prediction by 2030 looks incredibly stupid. She should have to answer for such a foolish price prediction, deceiving people with Moon Girl math, at least according to this Bloomberg host. The host tries to smack her around a little bit and confront her, forcing her to answer for this Bitcoin price prediction. And by the way, this doesn't even compare to the face-off Senator Cynthia Lummis just had with Yahoo Finance.
If it was that easy to convert these certificates that Federal Reserve banks across the country already have into Bitcoin to cut our deficit, why has nobody at the Fed thought about this previously?
But watch this Bloomberg host first set Cathie up, give her an out to take back this prediction, and when she doesn't take it back, he confronts her hard. Smash the like button, support the channel, see for yourself.
Do you still sort of see Bitcoin really hitting some of those lofty milestones that you've talked about before? 100,000 is still a long way from a million. I do kind of wonder how much further you think this could actually go.
Well, what's interesting about Bitcoin today, now that we're going to get more regulatory green lights, we're seeing institutional investors focus on this new asset class. And as they're learning about it, they're saying, wait a minute, this new asset class, or this component of a new asset class, Bitcoin, is going to reach 21 million units out there, 21 million Bitcoin out there at its peak, and no more from there on. Where are we now? We're already above 19.5 million units. And so if institutional investors are looking at this new asset class more seriously, and Bitcoin is really the first of its kind in a new asset class and will be, we believe, the biggest opportunity of them all, they must consider an allocation. And so supply-demand, they're doing the arithmetic, and we see 1 million to 1.5 million by 2030. The probability of that has increased because of institutional.
So then here is where Cathie actually gets confronted. The host says, hey, Bitcoin has no fundamentals. It's all speculative. In what world could you ever be right about this? Again, this doesn't even come close to how Senator Cynthia Lummis just got challenged hard for her Bitcoin bill, which
is Bitcoin the right asset class to do that, even if that authority is given?
I'll show you this clip in just 1 minute, but check this out first. Cathie is on her heels a little bit with this one.
Okay, so that's 6 years from now, and I understand the supply-demand dynamics, but Cathie, I'm sure you're also very aware of some of the main criticisms that there really is no, I guess, fundamentals, if you will, at least in the traditional sense of how we try to value stocks or hard assets here. So beyond the speculative nature of I buy this and someone will buy it for more than me down the road, is there anything else there that gooses this beyond just that supply-demand equation?
Well, I think it's a very big idea, and it's not just speculative. It's a global monetary system that is rules-based, it is private, it is digital, it is decentralized, and it is backed by the largest computer in the world, or the largest computing system. It's the most secure network in the world. So that's very important. Gold would be in the same category. Gold is a store of value. And it is fairly scarce. What's interesting, in the last year, with the last halving this April, the increase in Bitcoin, the number of Bitcoin per year, the percentage increase, dropped to roughly 0.9% per year. That is below the 1% long-term growth in the supply of gold. So it is becoming even more scarce than gold. And the difference between gold and Bitcoin is when the gold price goes up, as it has, production goes up. The rate of increase in the supply goes up. That cannot happen with Bitcoin. It is mathematically metered to go up now 0.9% per year for the next 4 years, and then the supply growth will be cut in half again. So we think you can use gold as a guide in terms of what this asset class is right now, at least. It's very definitely a store of value, a digital store of value, and it's a very big idea from our point of view. You can also go to our big ideas, arkinvest.com, Big Ideas 2023, and see how we get to that $1.5 million by 2030 in our bull case.
Hey guys, they say the same thing every time. When Bitcoin crashes from a price of over 1 million, they're gonna say the same thing. And now Senator Cynthia Lummis is getting attacked when all she's trying to do is promote a US Bitcoin bill. Buy gift cards to your favorite brands with the Fold app. Earn big Bitcoin rewards back for every purchase. You should buy all your holiday gifts with these gift cards here. You can earn so much Bitcoin back this holiday season. 4% back with Airbnb, 2.5% back with Amazon, 3.5% back with Best Buy. Scan my QR code or use my link below. Sign up today. If you subscribe to us, you know Fed Chair Jerome Powell just yesterday said this about Bitcoin.
We're not allowed to own Bitcoin. The Federal Reserve Act says what we can own, and we're not looking for a law change. That's the kind of thing for Congress to consider, but we are not looking for a law change at the Fed.
So Cynthia, aren't you crazy for proposing a Bitcoin bill? The Fed chair said no. Explain yourself.
Let's start with the commentary that we got from Powell yesterday, just because that is such a driving force here. Does that at all derail some of that optimistic sentiment that we have heard from you and your colleagues on the heels about Bitcoin and what that adoption rate could look like?
It doesn't discourage me, because what Chairman Powell was saying is they don't have the authority now to own Bitcoin. I want to give it to them. I want our federal government to have a strategic Bitcoin reserve that can help back the US dollar as the world reserve currency, and then serve as a long-term savings account, thereby offsetting our national debt, which is over $36 trillion now. So my proposal would have the U.S. purchase, through other assets it already owns, 200,000 Bitcoin a year for 5 years for a total of $1 million, hold it for at least 20 years. And at the numbers that we project, that would accrue a fund that's worth about $16 trillion. So it has a couple of benefits for our country. As I said, shoring up with a hard asset, Bitcoin, our US dollar, and it helps offset some of the pain of our dramatic national debt. Now, if you were to see Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy's Doge effort goal reduce our expenditures, we would be able to bring in line our expenditures in a way that flatlines our debt and allows us to begin to retire it.
So, Senator, just curious.
And then here is where Cynthia actually gets steamrolled, attacked, confronted by the other mainstream media anchor. She can barely finish her statement before the host jumps in again and tries to just put her in her place. Watching Cynthia and her Bitcoin bill get attacked like this made some people worried about Bitcoin's future. Me, after I watched this, I doubled down. I'm actually more bullish after I saw Cynthia's answers to these questions.
If it was that easy to convert these certificates that Federal Reserve banks across the country already have into Bitcoin to cut our deficit, why has nobody at the Fed thought about this previously? They've had these reserves since the 70s.
Because, as Chairman Powell said, they don't believe they have the legal authority to own Bitcoin. We need to give that to them. The Bitcoin the U.S. already owns, roughly 200,000 Bitcoin, are within the asset forfeiture fund. And it's important, I think, that we take that fund, scoop it over into a strategic Bitcoin reserve, and then add to it, which is...
Is Bitcoin the right asset class to do that, even if that authority is given, just because of the volatility of it and also the fact that it's only been around for 15 years?
It absolutely is the right asset. It is digital gold. It is a finite source. Only 21 million Bitcoin will ever be mined. And it has the elements of strength and Even though it's slightly volatile, it's always volatile in an upward leaning direction. And so the goal here of holding it for 20 years is in recognition that on the short term, there is short-term volatility. On the long term, there is long-term growth that far exceeds the ability of the US dollar to keep up. The US dollar is designed to debase. The Fed has a goal of 2% per year inflation, whereas Bitcoin's goal is to far exceed in value inflation and far exceed the value of the US dollar. And so far from inception, it has done exactly that. It's grown about 55% per year if you look at the long term. Over time, it'll drop from 55% a year to 45% a year to 35% a year, but it will continue to grow where the US dollar will continue to decline in value. So it's a very important asset to hold.
So much is happening in crypto. Make sure you subscribe. We post one video every day, keeping you informed. 2025 is going to be a great year for crypto. I truly believe that. I'm going to drop a top altcoin video soon, going over altcoins that are all under $1. So follow along with us and our daily videos, and I'll see you tomorrow.